Bienvenidos a otra edición de Entre Amigos. Welcome to Entre Amigos. This is going to be like sort of Spanglish today, Laura. So,
This.
hello, how are you?
Hello, Ivancho. Good to see you. Good to connect again. The last Entre Amigos have been wonderful. I'm so excited because we're getting to see all of our teachers, lots of people from the staff, people that we grew like idolizing. And we have a guest that is very important to us. We were very little when he was the big boss in middle school and high school.
I was not. I had him.
Oh, you did? Bueno, I don't remember if I did, but I do remember him as, being el
The
jefe,
boss.
the
Yeah,
boss.
perfect.
So let's see who we have today over here. Hello, hello.
So it says there.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Let's
Hello.
see, your camera should be popping in any minute.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mr.
here we
Torlone.
are. Here we are.
Oh my
Laura
God.
and Yvonne. ¿Cómo
Yes,
están?
sir. Muy bien. How's your Spanish?
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, but we're going to do this in English because we really want it to be as professional as possible.
Yes, it's been ages since we hear from you. We connected, in the past weeks with other people from the staff and from Colegio Bolívar. We saw pictures of you having lunch with Mrs. Coele and Mrs. Hernandez, and we were like, oh my God, we need to get Mr. Torlone on the show.
Yeah, this is exact. Oh, yeah. So that was right before COVID hit. I went down to visit Dr. Hernandez, and then with a friend, a mutual friend, Nancy Dubats, who taught at the Colegio Bolivar years ago. And so we drove over from Tampa to Orlando to see Mrs. Coele, and it was a lovely little reunion.
Nice, nice. So I'm so happy to have you here in Entre Amigos. As you know, this is a show we created with Laura, and we have had amazing people here, alumni from the school, and then teachers. So we had Ms. Coeli, we had Ana Hernandez last week. So it's incredible to reconnect with you. So big question. So it's Torlone or Torlone?
Good question.
You know what? It can be either one.
Yeah, because a lot of people call you Mr. Torlone and a lot of people Mr. Torlone. So I never knew what was the right answer.
Yeah. Well, now I'm Dr. Torlone or Torlone. So, since I'm a professor at a small Catholic university in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I've been there for almost 20 years. So yeah. So you can call me whatever you want.
So tell you,
call me Dan. You can call me Dan.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow. Calling our principal Dan, I don't know. I
was telling Juan, we even got nervous because I remember when you were around, I was really young. I believe I was in elementary. So you always see like the principal, like that figure over there, super far away.
Yeah, right.
I think I was wealthy. I didn't visit your office that often.
Well,
okay, yeah, right, exactly.
I was not that young, and I went to his office a couple of times, maybe, but for good reasons, not for bad reasons.
Okay.
I think.
That's wonderful.
So, Mr. Torlone, so Dr. Torlone, sorry. Tell us about your story. What happened to you? Well, first of all, how did you arrive to Colegio Bolivar, and what happened after Colegio Bolivar?
Okay, I arrived at Colegio Bolivar back in 1976, before you all were born, because I graduated from university and I was looking for a job, and I applied all over, and Colegio Bolivar was kind enough to offer me a job. And little did I know that my, let's say, 2-year commitment would turn into 14 years, because I think it was probably the defining experience of my young adult life. Because there, of course, I guess I learned to be a teacher, and I learned to be an administrator later. And I made good friends that I still have today, so, over 40 years later.
So you started as a teacher, right?
I did. I started as a teacher. I taught 8th grade and 10th grade social studies.
Mhm.
And then, I taught social studies probably grade 7, 8, I don't know, 10. I think I taught English one year. In a small school, you end up doing everything.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I was researching the kioscos. Remember our
Yeah.
book? So I was researching kioscos, and I saw like a gap because I see you there as a teacher. Then I don't find you in some kioscos, and then we see you as a principal. So
Yeah.
when was that transition?
I went 1 year after I taught, I think for 5 or 6 years, I went to a Colegio Jefferson, where
Okay.
I was principal for 1 year. Then I came back to the Bolivar. And I'm glad I did, of
I'm
course.
glad you did.
Was that?
I'm glad you did.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, I consider Bolivar one of my homes.
We've been chatting, with all of our guests, the Bolivar community, and we feel it from, teachers that left many, many years, Manuelita that is no longer there, Raquel Cruz that is no longer there. Like there's a bunch of teachers that even though they were there for either a short period of time or big period of time, fall in love with the Bolivar community and everything that, surrounds this family. What was important or what was beautiful about this, this place you were working and living?
I think that we all understood a couple of things at the same time. I think we all understood that in many ways we were privileged to, not only, let's say, economically, but we also were privileged to have a lot of close personal connection within the context of a job. And you just don't find that everywhere. I'm not going to say what the Bolivar had was unique, because there are a lot of schools have that kind of culture that is formed over time. I think also at the same time, we realized that being in Colombia, things could be very insecure physically. And, and I think now, of course, I'm sure you have family and friends in Colombia, and it's going through a really hard time. And I believe we understood at the Bolivar that we were sort of privileged in that sense to be a little bit more secure than other people, although nobody was immune to tragedy. It hits everybody, but I think we always felt that when something difficult occurred, that there would be the Bolivar community to support us.
When did we lose you? When did you leave Cali?
I left in 1990. Yeah, so I think maybe, Laura, before you were in.
I was class of 1995, so that means I was in 9th grade. 9th, 10, 11, 12. I was in 8th grade.
You were in 8th grade, right? Exactly. And Yvonne, I think you were what in?
I'm class of 1993. So
okay,
I was almost there to graduate 3 years before.
Yeah.
Right. Grade. What?
Right.
9th grade.
Do you still, besides, Mrs. Coel and Mrs. Hernandez, that we were so happy to see in those pictures, do you keep in touch with anyone else from faculty or maybe students? Because I know lots of students remember you perfectly.
Yeah. Do I keep in touch with any of them? The answer would be no. Unfortunately. I mean, I have a lot of friends from that era, but actually some of them did not teach at the Bolivar, or they taught at the Bolivar um, for a very short time. So I am in contact with Dr. Hernandez and Mrs. Coele. I saw Raquel Cruz several years ago when I was in Colombia. I've been back many, many times. I visited Dr. Felton many times, and let's see, yeah, I just various people that I knew in the Bolivar community over the years.
So after this interview, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot of people that wanna see you or talk to you or reconnect. So I'm sorry for that. If you were hiding, we found you.
If you were hiding, now everybody has access to you. And I hope you get the chance to, visit the other interviews and know a little bit about, alumni and other teachers and stuff. It has been wonderful.
Yeah. Now, where are you? Is all of this being archived on YouTube or what?
So basically, we created this show, and our idea was to put it on our new channel. Laura and I, we have a channel, but then speaking with the people from the office of school, we decided to give the exclusivity to the school. So basically, they're launching every single week a show on their platforms, which they have a YouTube channel, and they also have like a kind of Facebook thing for alumni. So it's getting posted there, and it's being sent to 4,000 parents by Carolina Chavez, which is in charge of that office. And then a week later, we put it on our channel. Basically, that's how it's working.
Are you the Dream Team channel? Was that I saw on
No,
there?
that's my channel from my company.
Oh.
Ivancho's channel and my channel is called EntreAmigos.
Just
and as it is. And obviously, the idea right now, everybody owns this. We created this show just to connect. Ivan had the fantastic idea during COVID to connect with his classmates. And he said, you know what? I'm interviewing such and such from my class. He has a great story. What if we start interviewing other students, teachers, staff, and just connect with them? And it's flowing so well. I think we have at least 30 interviews, if not.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And we've been able, to connect with students that are older than us, younger, people that we haven't seen in a while. And it's been very, very fantastic, not just for Ivancho and myself personally, but for everyone that maybe said, hey, what happened with Dr. Torlone? And now they get to connect and hear the story and see after so many years.
This is like a continuation.
So Laura, what tell me about yourselves. What are you all doing professionally now?
Yes, I graduated in 1995. I majored in communications and journalism in Bogota, and then moved to Miami to do associate in science, also in entertainment. And I've been working in the entertainment business for the past 21 years.
Wow.
I own I have a PR firm dedicated to the US Hispanic market for entertainment, sports, music, fashion, and beauty. And I'm, happy here. I live in Miami. I've been here for a while, and I've got great clients and the opportunity to work in something that I really loved since I was in school. I love the festival. I love the plays. I love being the teacher's pet, the class president, everything. I wasn't afraid of speaking out loud. And I could tell now that I work in what I work, that this is what really makes me happy.
Sounds like a perfect fit for your personality. And that's lovely. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Great.
And she also has a show in CNN talking about entertainment, and she also sometimes she has a show in a radio station in
Radio
Cali.
station in Cali. I speak also every Wednesday. I have a segment about entertainment, international entertainment for a show in Cali. So I try to be as connected, and I love doing TV and I love doing interviews, but I also love being behind.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'll have to search for your show on CNN sometime.
Google me. A teacher
Yes.
Googled me and it was like, oh my God, I saw you and you have this and this. And I'm like, oh my God. So they Googled me.
Yeah.
I feel
Great.
privileged.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay, Yvonne, how about you?
I'm going to tell you, but very short, because this is about you, not us.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking. I'm
Sorry.
so sorry.
So
no.
basically, right now I live in New York. I'm a real estate broker here, but I've been in the entertainment industry also. I did my internship in Telemundo. I did my internship in a radio show that it was called EntreAmigos in Miami. It was from Caracol. That's sort of where this name comes from.
Yeah. Okay.
And I used to do PR for some artists and DJs and things like that, but not longer there. I'm here in real estate. And I went to the university with Laura. We were not from the same class, 1995, 1993. But in Bogota, we reconnected and we were in the same university for a while, Javeriana. So, and like she's a very good friend of mine, super good friend of mine. And when I had this idea, I was like, there's no other person that I want to do the show but with Laura. She's from school. We went to the university together. She has all the shows. She has the knowledge, and she's beautiful. So what else? So going back to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Going back to you, what do you remember from Cali and what do you remember from school?
Oh, Lord. What do I remember from Cali and what do I remember from school? You know, I was thinking about that the other day, and so some of the let's say more prominent memories have to do with events that occurred. Both sort of good and bad. Some of the, for example, the binational games. I don't know whether they still even have those. I don't know. We sort of began them when I was there. I can't remember whether I began them or what, but they just sort of happened. And I just thought they were such a coming together in such a good way. I remember some of the musicals, some of the plays that were put on.
Great shows.
Yeah. I remember the one very frightening incident, which I think was, I don't know if you were, you maybe have been, you were in elementary.
When the guerrilla came in.
When the guerrilla, yes, when the guerrilla came. Yes, right.
We were there. We were evacuated.
Yes, exactly.
We also got a lot of earthquakes. I remember and we had to do the drills.
Yeah, exactly.
Full of,
Right. Right. No, I just, those are sort of prominent memories that I always have of that time. And in Cali, in general, there again, I remember just just how beautiful it was in Cali, especially, around 4 or 5 o'clock when the brisas come.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a special time. It's hot, and then all of a sudden it's not so hot. And it was a perfect part of the day that I think everybody looked forward to.
After school, that's the feeling of after school. Like when you said after school, it was like this wave of like cool air. It was very cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when was the last time you actually visited the campus?
Oh, I am trying. That's a tough one, Laura. I was going to go to. It was in 2014. I think I was there. I was actually going to visit the campus, and Mrs. Carla Ravassa was the preschool principal, and I was going there to visit her with some other friends I came to Cali with, but I was staying at Dr. Felton's house, and I was in the casita, and we had this horrible rain storm, and I was basically flooded, so I couldn't make it to the school. So that's a long way of saying I don't know. It was sometime probably in maybe 2005, 2006.
If you were in
so
that
it's
house,
been a long, long time.
but if you were in that house, you were at school, because that house is the one that was
At
constructed.
the end of the school, right next
No,
to
this was after Dr. Felton retired, and he lived in La Buitrera,
Ah, okay.
a finca there, basically. And there was a casita that I was staying in that flooded during the aguacero. And so, yeah, it's been quite a while. I wonder, sometimes I wonder what it's like now, especially in the year and a half since COVID struck. I have no idea what it's like.
Well, we saw some pictures. I'm in contact with a lot of people from school. Patricia Nasser, she works at school, and there's a lot of people that still work there. So they sent a picture of some foxes. That's the correct word. The plural fox. I don't know. Well, they saw fox there at school because there were no people. So they did like a little, they had their little home there while people were away. So
really,
yeah.
No, I know the school was still like virtual. Last time we spoke with other students, friends, they went virtual. The school keeps on growing and it's so beautiful. There's still that, uniqueness of Bolivar's classrooms that are open and the big auditorium.
Yeah.
Those marquee like buildings are still there, but then there's like added,
We have a new pool. We have a beautiful new pool located at the same site, but a beautiful new pool, and it has like a terrace, and it has like a party place where we have done some events there. So it's pretty amazing. So let me ask you, what do you think that people like? Do you think that people loved you or didn't like you that much there at school?
You were tough.
I think probably both. I think that's inevitable, and especially when you're in a leadership position.
So I have found that everybody loved you, by the way. So
really,
yeah. No, but listen. But look, I'm not that surprised, because when I look back and I remember you were exactly the same person what you're doing right now. You're in the pictures and everything. You're sitting down like this. You're like this. And I used to.
And you haven't aged.
Yeah.
You look
I love you, Laura. I love you. Yes.
No, but I remember that from you, like being super cool, super nice, like tough. I don't know, because I didn't get in trouble that much, so I don't remember that part. But I remember like you being like in the binationals and the sports day and all those things, like with your glasses, or in Halloween with your costumes and things like that. I remember you being a fun person, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Actually, when you left, I always thought, like, for myself, like, I'm always gonna be good because I get along with him, and I'm not gonna get in trouble. And then all of a sudden you leave, and then Mr. Felabon comes in, and I'm like, oh no, a new principal. So I had to work my
Right. Everybody has to get to know the new boss, so to speak.
Exactly. But a lot of people, I think you kicked out a lot of people from school. Some people. It's part of the process. It is what it is.
Well, it is, yeah, and that's not something that anybody, any principal or director likes doing. I mean, it's horrible when that has to happen, but sometimes it's unavoidable.
Now, you were telling us you're now working at a university, correct?
Yes.
Do you like more working with younger kids like us, or do you like this university, aspect a little bit more?
I think that at that I have grown up
Mhm.
also. So at this point in my life, and I'm almost ready to retire, uh, I think university is a good fit. But I think when I was younger, you know, middle school and high school kids were a good fit.
Great. Mhm.
So I have been very blessed in many ways.
The older we get, the less patience we have.
Yeah.
So I imagine
That is true.
territory.
That is true. Yes, that is true. And I think so, you know, I'm fortunate that I've been able um, to fit well in different levels of education. Yeah.
So Laura always likes to ask about the
The
cafeteria.
cafeteria. For me, one of the best moments, and I was able to speak with Tukucha weeks ago, and she was like, "Oh my God, I was listening to one of the interviews you were doing for Entre Amigos, and you mentioned my name." And I'm like, "Kucha, I love eating. I mean, the food of the cafeteria, I could still close my eyes and smell it or taste it. So I love asking people about food and about,
Yeah.
that's those special dishes. So I have to
Yeah.
ask you, what are those special dishes you remember?
Oh God, I just remember the food as being, you know, the term comfort food.
Yes.
I just, you know, I can't remember anything in particular. I love the empanadas. I love the tostadas. All of that. You know, it's sort of like the good greasy food. I mean, you gotta love it. You know, it was comforting, and I think everybody that was that was the sort of the high point of many students' day was going to the cafeteria.
And I remember the bake sales. I was also
Oh
really,
yeah,
really happy, bake sales where people could bring in stuff from home. And I mean, that was a beautiful environment around it.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Do
Yeah.
you get those things in Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Uh, Not easily, not easily. More and more now we have. I mean, there is a supermarket that is sort of the Latino supermarket, and so you can buy things to make your own. And there, of course, there are a lot of Mexican restaurants. There are always Mexican restaurants.
Mhm.
I don't think we have a Colombian restaurant in Fort Wayne.
So how does it work with your friends or family or strangers when probably they're speaking Spanish or they're talking about, I don't know, the game Colombia versus whatever Brazil, and then you go like, I lived in Colombia, I speak Spanish, I understand you, or how does it?
How does it resonate?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think, well, more and more now, you know, as the culture has become more diverse, I don't think I am seen as such a, a foreign entity, somebody who, you know, lived overseas for many years, somebody who is bilingual. I think that is more and more understood and accepted. It's not so strange anymore because, you know, I have to admit that sometimes when I first came back to the States, I would mention, you know, I lived in Colombia, and after about 30 seconds of me talking about it, everybody's eyes would sort of glaze over, and I think they just couldn't relate to it.
Uh-huh.
But you know, it's a different world now, fortunately,
Mhm.
and it's a much more diverse world. And I think it's seen as something that's, you know, like, oh, lucky you got to do that.
Exactly.
Well,
And
there's something about Colombians, and we think that everybody knows where's Colombia, and everybody we think that Colombia is the greatest place on earth, which it is, but for a lot of people, it's the same as mentioning Zimbabwe or Botswana. It's like
see,
that
exactly,
doesn't relate to
exactly,
anybody, so they don't know. I live in
yeah,
New York, and it happens to me here, and I guess Laura, sort of a little bit in Miami. Well, I live in Miami too, but
Yeah.
Miami is very Latin, so they kind of know where's Colombia.
yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I love Colombia. I just, you know, when things are going wrong there, it really hurts me. I really want to see it prosper. I want to see the people, lifting themselves up, and it's changed immensely since when I first went there many years ago. And when I was back, I think it was, when was it? Actually, it was only 3 or 4 years ago. I went back with some friends, and we sort of did a tour. I went to some places that I hadn't been to for 30 years, and I'd forgotten about. And so we went to the Eje Cafetero, we went to the coast, and it just sort of reminded me why I love Colombia so much. And now it really pains me that Colombia has such a hard time of it with coronavirus, and now with the civil unrest in Colombia. I just pray that it comes back into balance, because it is such a beautiful, not only a beautiful country, but the people are so beautiful. And I just want it to be, I want it to be good.
You're very well informed.
I hope so. I hope so. I try to keep al día with what's going on.
Muy bien. Talking about going back, if you had the opportunity to go back to school, what would be one of the places inside school you would visit first, and who would you like to see again?
Oh my gosh. Well, for one thing, I don't think anybody is there that I worked with anymore. I think everybody has, moved on, or they've retired in one way or another. I would like to, if I could, just follow the students over the course of the day, just see what they're, what is it like to be in the 10th grade now? Or, what is it like to be a senior? What is it like to be in the 6th grade? I'd love to sort of be as we say in English, a fly on the wall, and just, go through the day with
But you will be surprised, because, for example, we spoke with Nora Aguado, which is now Nora Machado, and she's been in school for 43 years.
Oh, wow. She's still there.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Yeah.
Whoa, I am too. And
Kucha is still at the cafeteria.
She is? Oh my God.
Moncayo.
Really?
Did you get Moncayo from the photocopies?
Yeah.
They're all in school. So there you go. If you go back to school, you do the tour and visit all of them, because they're still there.
And also there's a lot of students that now work at school, like Patricia Nasser is in charge of admissions. Carolina Chavez is in charge of alumni. Robert Clerks is in charge of the buses, and that I don't know what it is.
Robert Clerks
of the buses.
You remember Robert, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
And Robert has an excellent story also that it's coming up in a movie, because he helped his friend that his dad got kidnapped in Colombia, and they did a documentary about it, and the movie's coming out or came out already. That's an interview that we have to do, Laura, by the way.
We do.
So yeah, that's with Robert.
Yeah, I really want, I hope I can maybe on the Facebook page or on your page, find out what the name of the documentary is. I'd love
I will send it. I will send it to you.
Mr. Rumpf is still there. Did you get to work with Mr. Rumpf?
Oh, is Tom still there?
Yes.
I thought that maybe he had retired already.
Every people love Bolivar. I mean, if I could be still at school, I think I would be still at school.
Yeah.
We love it.
You just can't disconnect.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Laura and I, we're this type of people who will live with the memories of school, and we have found that many of our class captains are in the same situation. Like we had Sandra Frey, that she is the class captain, and she, moves her class to do things. Janine Libreros, and it's like a special breed of people.
I see Sandra and Janine like on Instagram, You know, that's oh yeah, oh that's wonderful. That's great.
So you have Instagram, and you were very difficult to find.
Oh, I was, yeah. You know, I haven't honestly. I have to admit, I haven't. I have almost intentionally avoided Facebook and Instagram for the last few years because it could get so negative,
Yeah.
Totally. Especially
so
Colombia.
hyper political in a way that I just didn't want to deal with. So I have to admit that I've not been very good about social media.
But you have a good memory because I mentioned those names and you're like, oh, I know
Yeah.
them. I remember.
Oh
So
yeah.
you
Oh
have a
yeah.
very good memory. And you saw like what, 800 students probably?
Yeah, exactly.
And respect and talking about social media, I mean, the beauty of social media, in
Mhm.
my personal opinion, is that it permits us to connect. For example, Facebook, now that we're doing the Entre Amigos, I've been able to find teachers that we spoke with Waleska Perlaza, with like a bunch
Yeah.
of people that I didn't know and I didn't have any connections from back in the days. So,
Right.
so in social media defense, I think
Yeah.
it helps us unite, and I think it brings a lot of happiness to
Exactly.
the community that really enjoys and like uses
Yeah.
the platform in the correct way.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people we haven't been able to find, like Mary Ann Green. I don't know, Mr. Black. Like, there's a lot of people who we haven't been able to find, or I haven't been able to find.
Mary Ann Green. Oh my God. You know, it's amazing. I was just thinking of her like in the last 2 days. Why in the hell would I be thinking of her? You know, these things just pop into your head, you know? Yeah.
But I'll find them. I'll find them. So I have another question for you. So you said that you're gonna retire soon. So are you gonna stay in Fort Wayne, Indiana? Where are you from, by the way? Like I don't know where you're from.
Oh, I'm originally from West Virginia. I will never go back there. It is a very depressing and depressed state. Yeah, I feel sorry. That's another place I feel sorry for, you know. I don't know whether I live in Fort Wayne or not, frankly. I'm actually right now in Florida. I'm at, my brother lives outside of Jacksonville in North Florida. And, you know, I sort of am committed to caring for him. He is disabled. And so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in that regard. I would, you know, sometimes I fantasize about coming back to Colombia and living in Colombia. So you know, that's my little dream.
Lots of people dream about going either back to school or back to Colombia. So you're not far away from other people's
Exactly.
minds.
Exactly.
We spoke to Chris Papadopoulos, and actually,
Oh yes,
he was in Colombia when we did the interview. Actually, he was
really?
there. Yeah.
Oh, how cool is that? Yeah, yeah. He connected with me. Oh God, it must have been a couple of years before COVID. I just remember being, yeah, exactly.
By the way, speaking about COVID, where were you stationed at? Were you at home? How were you able to, you know, be the principal of this university? Was everything virtual? Did you go just a couple of days to the campus?
Well, actually, well, when COVID hit in the when was it? Was the spring of 20, right? Yeah. You were, and everything just shut down. It just closed. Everything went online. You know, I mean, and no, we did not go to the office at all. But then this past year, fall and spring, we were able to have classes on ground. We were very fortunate. We did not have any major outbreaks. Everybody was masked and social distanced. And yeah, and I would go to the office maybe 2 or 3 days a week, but it wasn't, you know, like normal. And I think now, though, in the, you know, in the fall semester, we will be back to normal. And sort of, you know, fingers crossed that everything stays tranquilo.
Now, I'm curious to know something. When you're the principal of a university,
No, I'm a professor.
you're a professor.
Yeah,
and
I'm not an
virtually-
administrator there anymore.
Okay.
I was the head of our department for several years, but fortunately I was smart enough to give that up. And
Did you
Yeah.
enjoy the virtual part of, having, I don't know, right now we're 3 people, sometimes we get 4 or 5, but when you have 20 students, I mean, how
no,
do you control the
no.
room? Did you like it? What
No,
was that experience?
no. I think, a small group like this, or maybe even, 5 or 6 people who know each other and, just in discussion. Like I have my Kali Amigos Zoom every month. We do something
Ooh, how cool
uh,
is
for
that?
people that I knew back, when I was younger there. But no, classes, it's just not my thing. Although I've taught online classes before, I think it's okay when you have older students, like graduate level, you can do that. But with undergraduates, no,
Yeah.
I just think you need
I see my nephew says it's not that cool. It's not that good for them or the teachers. Going back to memories from school, I saw a picture and I remember that trip. I wasn't in that trip, but I remember you went to Gorgona with.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. So did you got that trip continued then?
That's great.
I did it. I'm not sure if they still do it, but it's supposed
I
to be.
believe they do, or well, 5 years ago, I believe they still go to Gorgona. It's the same amazing trip for a week, same process. One of the
Yeah.
highlights of our school time, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started that, and I mean, I remember the first one. Yeah, it was like, it was just like you didn't really know what you were going to find.
You
Is
were
there
very brave to send students in a boat to an island.
is there something you did like a legacy, like you started that trip or you stated detention or you yellow slip? Is there something like that is Mr. Torlone's legacy in school?
I don't, honestly, I don't think so. I mean, maybe the Gorgona trip, um, I don't know if I started, if the binationals, I think maybe they started when I was there. I don't think I started them. I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? Uh, but yeah, the Gorgona trip for sure. That would be something. Like with Dr. Hernandez, it was the musicals. She always did them. She was like, really a big proponent of the musicals. And I remember after she left, I helped produce a couple of them, but I wouldn't say that was a legacy.
Those were the good old days. I love those. And by nationals, I wasn't like a really good player, but I did join the volleyball team just for the trips.
Uh-huh.
We went to
Sure.
Cartagena, we went to Medellin, we went to Bogotá, to Manizales. I mean, it was
Yeah.
that possibility of going to other schools where they were exactly like us, the Columbus School, el Nueva Granada, Washington, creo que Jorge Washington.
That's Cartagena.
Yeah.
Colegio Washington and
Very
Cartagena.
cool.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Very
Right.
Parish school. In Fort Wayne, Indiana, we had, I think Leslie Parra moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana, because I know that Christian Parra moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Right. Yes. And of course, Leslie is deceased now. So yeah. That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yuancho, I believe we have a guest.
We have a guest, Dr. Torlone. So I hope you enjoy this guest because, it's a little present we have for you.
We love surprises in our show. So let's see. She's joining. I need you to turn the camera on.
And the audio is getting connected. So this is sometimes a little bit tough here in this show because, it's sort of live. But, oh, wow.
Mr. Bouchard!
Mr. Bouchard.
Is this Alan Bouchard?
Yes,
sir. And Fanny's next to him.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. How cool is that?
Oh, we lost them.
Oh, no, I think we lost them
again.
We'll get them. Don't worry.
Okay.
So
My
Fanny, she was your assistant during.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. And of course, Mr. Bouchard with Física, you know? I mean,
Oh,
oh man, talk about a class that people struggled with, you know? I
we
mean,
continue to struggle. Mr.
I
Bouchard,
would
so
not, I
good
would
to
not,
see you.
I would not envy anyone who had to teach physica or química, you know, I mean, or advanced mathematicas, you know, that's really tough stuff, really
Well, thank you very much, Dan.
tough.
That's quite a praise.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, you know, that's yeah, it's almost like it's almost like you're guaranteed, students are guaranteed to be traumatized by the subject area.
Especially the
And
ones
you
that are
know
not
what
that great with math and stuff, like me.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
How
So
are you
you're
feeling,
you're
Mr.
in Cali,
Bouchard?
I assume, right? Alan and Fanny, you're in Cali?
Yes, we
Yes,
still
we're
are.
still here.
Yeah, yeah. So how are things in Cali in terms of, you know, the civil unrest?
Oh,
and-
it's a mess. That's probably what I would say. It's a mess.
Is it? Yeah.
Okay.
Are-
I would say that the mayor is not doing very much. He
uh-huh.
says he's in conversation with the people that are blockading. Okay, but we don't see any progress.
Wow. So are you, is there like, is it difficult to actually just go out in the street and do your, you know, diligencias and things like that?
Not now, not now. It was about a month ago, but you still have to be careful, plan your route, okay,
Mhm,
where
mhm.
you want to go, but it's not as bad as it was a month ago.
Okay, well, that's it's good to hear, but still it's not back to normal by any means.
Yes. I just got out of the hospital 11 days ago.
What I see, are you on oxygen, Alan?
Yes, I
Yes.
am. I'm on oxygen.
Oh,
Uh,
what,
I
if you
had
don't mind
a-
my asking, what's going on?
I had a bronchorespirational infection.
Oh.
Okay, first of all, and then they put me for a ICU. They put me in a COVID area. I contacted COVID,
Oh my
Okay.
God.
and then I got a urinary infection. So in all, I was about almost 2 months in the hospital.
Oh God.
Right now, I'm beginning to recuperate both physically and respirationally.
Oh my God. So, you know, there's a classic, you go into the hospital for one thing and you end up contracting other
Yes.
Yeah, 2 and
diseases.
3 things.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And, you know, of course, it's all going on during COVID and civil unrest and just, oh my God. Well,
Right.
I'm glad you're out of the hospital. You know, you'll probably be a lot safer out of the hospital than you were in the hospital.
Where are you, Dan?
I am right now, I am in, I'm near Jacksonville, Florida. I'm visiting my brother, but I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, I ended up there because of Mrs. Hernandez, Ann Hernandez. And I, you know, ended up, I still am a professor of education at University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne. So yeah, I was just telling Yvonne and Laura that I'm almost ready to retire. I think maybe 2 more years, and you know, if they don't kick me out before then.
No,
So-
they won't.
How long have you?
Laura, how are you, Yvonne?
Yvonne, so
Very
nice
good,
to
Mr.
see
Bouchard.
both of you.
Mr. Bouchard, I'm so happy. We were trying, just to let you know, Dr. Torlone, we were gonna have an interview with Mr. Bouchard the day that he got sick, and we got to
Oh.
cancel, like, in
Oh.
the act. He didn't answer, and he goes, I'm on my way to the hospital.
Actually, he answered. He was like, no, I don't feel good. And I'm
I
like,
don't feel good. I can't take the call. And look, it's 2 months after you've been in the hospital. We're so glad you're doing better.
Yeah, really.
Thank you very much, Laura.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
doing much better. I'm beginning to walk around. Well, during 2 months, you lose just about all of
His
your
finger.
muscular tone.
Mhm.
Yes.
Completely,
Yes.
completely.
so
Yeah.
how long,
How
hace
weak
cuánto
your
no
legs
veías a
get.
Mr. Torlone? ¿Hace cuánto no veías a Mr. Torlone, Mr. Bouchard? How long have you not seen each other?
Oh, huh. No, I think that the last time I saw Mr. Torlone was when he went to school at one time.
I remember when I was there for an accreditation visit, and I was just looking at something popped up on my computer about that today, and it was 2003. So
Okay.
it's
Oh
been
my goodness.
like
Been a while.
18 years. It's been 18 years, for God's sake. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was there with, Dr. Felton had invited me and Dr. Pastor to be on the accreditation team. So yeah. Been a long
Bonnie,
time.
Bonnie, how was working for Mr. Torlone? Dr.
Oh,
Torlone.
that was great. I really enjoy every time, every minute. He was a very good boss. Excellent.
You would keep the students away from like attacking my office or something. So,
No, we were not that bad. Sorry to tell you, but we were never attacking or not that bad. Not that I remember.
no, you weren't. No, you weren't.
It was a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I retired completely from teaching when I was 74 in
Oh,
1907.
wow. Okay, man. So you really worked till 74. Congratulations.
No, until 2017,
2017.
until I was 74.
Wow. Oh man. Wow.
And
Well, I'm a very young 68 right now.
Oh, that is, you are very young.
So I think I'll, as I was telling Yvonne and Laura, I'm going to probably work for 2 more years, and that'll be it. I think it'll be time.
We'll
you
be
know.
free like the birds.
Yeah, right.
but Mr. Bouchard still works as Santa Claus, I've heard.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
his part-time job.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing now?
Mr. Bouchard, I live in Miami. I've been here for the past 21 years. I'm still working in communications and entertainment. I own a PR firm, and I love show business. So me, no math, no physics. Leave that. It's about the business
ah,
now.
that's wonderful.
That didn't help you out at all.
So now that we have Mr. Bouchard in a better condition, we're gonna have
Have to
soon-
reschedule and do your own interview.
Yeah, you
I hear
really do
everything
need
about
to
you,
do
Mr.
that.
Bouchard.
Exactly.
we'll-
Yeah.
we'll-
Alan, how many years did you teach at the Bolivar? It must be like, what, 30?
33 years.
33. Okay. Yeah. So,
Because
yeah.
you were there the
know
first
more
year
about,
that-
you have a longer history than I do there, actually. So,
Yes.
Yeah, there's everybody that goes in Bolivar for the most, they've been like a long time. It's not like they go for 1 year and they leave. They fall in love with the city, they fall in love with school and with people, I guess.
yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
That's even true with US and Canadian citizens that go down there and teach.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, my experience is that when people come down from Canada or the US, wherever, they either just do not fit and they leave after a year, maybe 2 years, or they stay for
Forever.
a long time.
It's connected. It's
Yes.
connected. Well, like we explained at the beginning, this is, Entre Amigos was created to join everyone, to bring all of us together, to remember the Bolivar family. We're so grateful to have you, Mr. Torlone, Dr. Torlone. Especially now, I don't see you. I remember looking at you like, oh my God, the prince. And so many memories, so many memories. I'm so happy you were able to join us. I was so happy.
Yeah, I am too.
Fanny and Mr. Bouchard join us for a bit. Ivan, I think we could wrap this up. We have so much more to
Yes.
discuss. The love is there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this program, as Laura mentioned, was to thank you guys, our school teachers, principals, staff, everybody, our friends. It's a way of us to say thank you for everything. Dr. Torlone, I remember you exactly how you are right now, like a bacán, a cool teacher, a cool person. I do remember that. That's like the memory I have, which is a good one. Mr. Bouchard, he knows I love him, and we're gonna have his show soon. Fanny, thank you very much for joining. I don't want to say goodbye.
Group picture.
Take a group picture. I don't want to say goodbye but it's an air thing, and
I really hope that someday we can actually gather physically at the school or in Cali somewhere.
I hope so.
That would be my wish.
That would be
After
hope
this
so.
show, I hope that the school organizes not only a homecoming for the students, but a homecoming for teachers.
Yeah, I think that would be lovely.
That would be very, very good.
Yeah, that would be.
Okay, so we're gonna close with a group picture. Everybody look here. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Yay!
Hey, wonderful.
So again,
Okay.
I'm gonna say goodbye to the show. You don't have to hang up, but I have to say goodbye to the show. Gracias a todos por joining Entre Amigos. Laura, I'll see you soon. Un abrazo para todos, un abrazo para ustedes. Nos vemos pronto.
Okay. Ciao.
Gracias, un
Bye-bye.
beso.
Bye.
Bye.